Good evening, I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. Police are investigating the shooting of a child in Bowie last night. Authorities were called to the 16,400 block of Governor's Bridge Road around 6:15 p.m. That's where Bowie police found a 3-year-old boy in an apartment suffering from gunshot wounds. Officials say the child is still in critical condition.
We don't have anything that's releasable at this point. Prince George's County homicide detectives are investigating the case, and they're working to determine if the shooting was accidental. Anytime that you find someone with a gunshot injury, it's critical that you take the first vital steps to ensuring proper care and transport as soon as possible in a stable condition.
The Prince George's Police Department is investigating the incident. Well, here are the daily COVID-19 numbers. According to the state's health department, 212 Marylanders tested positive for the disease over the past 24 hours. The positivity rate is at 2.23%. Deaths are up. 3 were recorded yesterday, 14 today. Hospitalizations are down slightly from yesterday to 596. And Montgomery County officials are easing COVID restrictions, noting that 60% of residents have at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. Officials are allowing businesses, restaurants, and theaters to open to 75% capacity. Indoor gathering limits have been expanded to 250. The county plans to further ease restrictions and allow businesses to resume normal operations on May 28th. Well, parents with kids get ready for a welcome surprise this summer. 39 million families are set to receive monthly child payments beginning July 15th. They're part of the Biden administration's nearly $2 trillion coronavirus relief package. Nearly 88% of children are expected to receive the expanded credit, which will last 1 year.
My daughter, she's a security guard, and she has 5 kids. So this would definitely assist her right now because she's homeschooling the kids right now, and so they're eating lunches and breakfast and of course dinner at home. So, and you know, the kids grow during the summertime, so tennis shoes, clothing, this will really will help her a whole lot.
I got kids, so it's gonna help me out.
I'm 7 now.
You're 7?
Yes, I'm 7.
So 250 for her, another 250. So let me get your thoughts.
I'm just gonna put it in the savings, keep saving my money, that's all, but it's good for people who need it.
I'm definitely trying to get her in daycare right now, so that would definitely go towards it because I'm kind of struggling even though I'm working, but it's a lot. Taking care of her is a lot, so yeah, any extra little money it would be helpful.
Is it a surprise? Did you know about it?
Yeah, I did not know about that. I thought that one that we got before was it.
Parents don't need to take any additional action to receive the benefits. Qualified families will receive up to $300 per child each month for children under 6. The benefit is $250 monthly for children between 6 and 17. In most cases, the payments will be made via direct deposit on the 15th of each month. Governor Hogan signs dozens of bills into law this afternoon. One of the most notable measures gets rid of Maryland's Confederate sympathizing state song. Another allows college athletes in the state to potentially profit off of their names, images, or likeness. Restaurants and bars can continue selling takeout cocktails and other alcoholic beverages, extending an emergency pandemic measure. The Flower Branch Act was also signed today, named in honor of a fiery apartment gas explosion that killed 7 people. It includes more stringent requirements for gas service operators. Hogan has until the end of May to either sign or veto hundreds of other bills passed by the General Assembly this year. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
It does not care about
your race, your gender,
your age, your religion.
If you have a brain,
you can get epilepsy.
Period.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
Anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
The way they think about seizures.
To fund more support and care for people with epilepsy.
To know basic seizure first aid.
And save more lives.
To do more innovative brain research.
To create a society
where those who live with epilepsy
Like me.
Can be open about it.
to find cures.
To find cures.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
All of us
Can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
I'm using my brain to end epilepsy.
By creating awareness.
by advocating for my son and for myself.
By taking care of my child.
For Scarlett and Jasper.
Let's use our brains. Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Welcome back. Prince George's police are investigating a fatal shooting in Langley Park. It happened about 5:30 last night in the 8000 block of New Hampshire Avenue. Responding officers say the man, whose identity has not been released, was shot in the upper body. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact police. 2 Charles County Sheriff deputies are listed in serious condition this evening after being shot serving a warrant. The incident happened yesterday afternoon in the 6300 block of Josephine Road in Waldorf. Officials say the deputies were shot by the suspect as they walked up a stairwell. They returned fire and exited the home. Later, the suspect was found dead, but officials say it is unclear if he died of a self-inflicted wound. Charles County officials are awaiting autopsy results. Big box stores are quickly dropping their mask mandates after the CDC relaxed its guidelines for fully vaccinated people. CVS, Walmart, Costco, Target, and others are dropping the mandate, even though they have no plans in place to require proof of vaccination. Maryland is following guidance from the Centers for Disease Control, but local jurisdictions can choose to opt out. Prince George's still requires mask mandates in stores and restaurants. The state is extending its small business COVID-19 relief grant program. The new application deadline is next Monday, May 24th. The $10 million grant program will provide interim relief to businesses that have been impacted by the pandemic. To be eligible, you must have 20 employees or fewer. For more information, visit commerce.maryland.gov. To dismantle what's called the school-to-prison pipeline, the county's Board of Education is creating a work group. The first meeting is tonight from 5 to 7. The group will meet through November. Some of the goals include revamping alternative schools, reducing punitive measures for students, and reviewing current arrest procedures.
This is certainly an issue across the country. We over-police our students, especially our Black and brown and students in poverty, more than any other nation. So we all have room to grow in this regard. And so I'm so excited that the board will be working hand in hand with the superintendent and the Advancement Project.
For more information, visit pgcps.org. The Maryland Lynching Memorial Project is hosting a special event this Wednesday. It's called A Just Reckoning, and it will take place at 7. This comes just weeks after Governor Larry Hogan posthumously pardoned 34 Maryland lynching victims. The panel will discuss the state's Lynching Truth and Reconciliation Commission. They will also explore restorative and transitional justice.
I hope that people will be able to understand what the process is going to look like. I want them to understand how they can be involved. And I think it's really important that everyone is involved. And also to come away with an appreciation of why this is so important, how they can involve themselves in their communities, and what their vision of Maryland is post the commission process.
To participate, visit the website on your screen. And we will have more news in just a moment. Stay tuned.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Thanks for staying with us. An Accokeek man has been arrested in connection with an April murder in Clinton. Here is the alleged shooter, 25-year-old Brandon Smothers. Police say he shot and killed 26-year-old Randy Thompson of the District of Columbia. On the night of April 12th, investigators were called to the 12,200 block of Gallahan Road for a welfare check. They found Thompson inside a car suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Smothers faces first and second-degree murder charges. A Potomac man and his pet dog die in a house fire. The victim has been identified as 75-year-old Raghib Zenadine. The fatal fire occurred yesterday in the 1400 block of Kersey Lane. When Montgomery County firefighters arrived on the scene, they found the victim unconscious on the second floor. He died later at a hospital. Well, she was the longest-serving mayor in Mount Rainier history and the first black female to hold the position, but after 16 years, she stepped down. Melinda Miles was succeeded recently by the city's first Latina mayor, Selena Benitez. In our recent conversation with Miles, she talked about some of her accomplishments. They include purchasing a headquarters building for the police department and installing solar panels on city buildings. Miles says she is also proud of bringing more diversity to Mount Rainier.
It is one of the most inclusive, diverse communities in Prince George's County, and I would even go so far as to say maybe even the state of Maryland. When I arrived there, it was strictly a sundown town that was not very inviting, not very welcoming. And today, I think there are more than 29 different languages spoken there.
Miles also served on the city council from 1987 to 2005. The Lake Arbor Jazz Festival is back and better than ever. Like everything else, the annual event was forced into a hiatus due to the pandemic, but for the first time since 2019, the festival continues this year with a mix of virtual and live in-person events. Last Sunday, Lake Arbor presented its Legends of Jazz series. The next set is scheduled for June 20th.
So the artist that we will feature for part 2 will be Gerald Veasley, a world-renowned bassist, Art Sherrod Jr., who's also local, but he has a national audience, and he's a saxophone player. Willie Bradley, who's a trumpeter out of North Carolina, who's topping the charts with a nice CD at this time. And then also Alex Bouillon, who's a keyboardist from New York, but he's excellent. He's been around for over 30 years as well as an excellent keyboard player.
To register, go to lakearborjazz.com and click on the Listening Room tab. Well, let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 56. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 86, a low of 61. Thursday and Friday, enjoy the sun and heat because daytime temps are going to reach the upper 80s and evening lows drop to the mid-60s. Now for your community calendar, the Red Cross says the need for local blood donations is in high demand. Residents who are in good health, even those who have taken the vaccine, are encouraged to donate. Donors are also needed to be at least 17 years old, weigh at least 110 pounds. All blood types are needed, especially type O, in order to restore the seasonal supply. The next drive is at Grace Lutheran Church in Bowie, May 21st from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. For more information, visit redcrossblood.org. That wraps up our newscast for tonight. Tune in tomorrow at 4:30. Have a great evening.